Have you guys been following this Platner guy in Maine? He's a walking scandal factory.
Kind of a creeper has been on a decade on a platform like Kick and send a dozen explicit kinds of messages and who knows what else.
Would it be better for Democrats if he was not the candidate here?
All I'm saying, it's like, when I was growing up, if someone had a clear Nazi tattoo on them, you probably could conclude that there's a Nazi sympathizer. How? At some point, are you going to continue to defend that or dismiss that?
At 2, he didn't cover it until October of 2025, 18 years after getting it, and only when it became a political problem. Think about that for a moment. 18 years of getting out of the shower, 18 years of looking into the mirror and seeing the Totenkopf. That's not a drunken mistake in Croatia. That's a daily choice, sustained for nearly 2
He's a walking piece of shit.
And now to new trouble for a Democratic candidate in a key Senate race. Maine Senate candidate Graham Platner is fighting new claims about his personal conduct. Jay O'Brien is on Capitol Hill with the latest. Jay, good morning.
Mary, good morning to you. This is one of the most closely watched Senate races in the country, critical to Democrats' hopes of taking back power here on Capitol Hill. And this morning, their presumptive candidate weathering yet another controversy.
This morning, Graham Platner, the rising Democratic star and frontrunner for the party's nomination to challenge Maine's longtime Republican Senator Susan Collins, in hot water yet again. The Wall Street Journal and New York Times reporting Platner's wife, Amy Gertner, disclosed to his campaign her husband reportedly exchanged sexually explicit messages with as many as a dozen women. At a campaign event last night, Platner responding.
What's up, everybody? This is Poppin' Politics. Get your merch. Are you a Poppin' Politics fan? Are you unapologetically American? Or not black, not white American? We got it all for you right here. Get your merch.
Get the classic shirt. Classic. Goes with everything, comes in a variety of colors. Smart, edgy, conservative, like us, like you. This is a great way to support the channel. Click the merch button.
There is no shame in being an American. You get your shirt today and be unapologetic about it. Get your shirt, wear it, and be a proud American.
You can get it all in t-shirts and hoodies. You can get it in stickers, on bags. You can get it all on our website, metroconservativemedia.com, or our YouTube page, Pop and Politics, and tag over to store. You can get your merch and show you're proud to be an American and support Pop and Politics.
We're going to try to make this race about anything but what it's supposed to be about, which is policy. They never want to talk about policy. Amy and I have a very loving and very happy marriage.
The candidate's wife reportedly finding the messages in the spring of 2025 before Platner's candidacy and later notifying the campaign out of concern it could hurt Platner's high-stakes race. ABC News has not independently verified the reports.
No marriage is perfect, and I don't want a perfect marriage.
In a video posted by Platner's campaign, Gertner coming to her husband's defense, saying the two have been to counseling and arguing voters will ignore what she calls gossip.
People in Maine want affordable gas. They want to be able to see their doctor when they're sick. They want to be able to send their kids to a nice school.
Without directly addressing the reports, Platner saying in a statement, quote, Amy and I went through something hard because of me. We did the work and I'm grateful for her every hour of every day. An oyster farmer and Marine combat veteran Platner's.
All right. So, Nicole, you heard what he said. Well, we know he went through something hard. That was the issue. He should have not been hard. He should have kept this little thing in his pants. But, I mean, is this a character flaw or is this just gossip? What are your thoughts along with the Nazi tattoo?
Well, listen, that in the grand scheme of things, of everything that we know about this man, him sexting other women is the least of the concerns, which tells me that all of these Democrats that are coming out against him, the only time Democrats come out against Democrats is when there's another Democrat it helps. They have no use for him, not because he's a whore. He's allowed to be a whore. It's the Democrat Party. This is what they did. You guys remember Bill Clinton, right? He's a misogynist. he's anti-Purple Heart. He has anti-military things, although he served in the military. Right. He has said some of the most horrifically racist things and gotten away with it. You've not heard them call out any of that bad behavior, but he's sexting a couple of chubby chicks on Kick, and now all of a sudden the Democrats want to burn him at the stake. Something's rotten in Denmark, honey. There's something else going on behind the scenes. There's a bigger issue, and we won't find out until one, Susan Collins kicks his ass, or they pull him off the ballot. One of two things.
Yeah. I want to get your thoughts on this, Shelley. Before I do, here's Sher Michael on CNN talking about it. This is clip 9.
A simple question. This guy is very controversial, and it's a question about judgment and character. Just a week ago, Jessica, our Manu Raju, the New York Times, asked Mr. Platner directly, is there anything else that we should expect? Anything else that the voters of Maine should expect? And he frankly said, no, this is it. This is all behind me. I'm focused on winning. I'm focused on my campaign message. I'm focused on representing the Democratic voters of the state of Maine. And here we are a week later, he lied. And so the next question becomes, what else will come out of this? There are 12 ladies. Will any of those ladies decide to give interviews? I feel sorry for his wife. She did not ask for this. It is unfortunate, and it is unfair to her. I will acknowledge that. But he is running for U.S. Senate. Susan Collins is the type of Republican that Democrats say they want. She's independent-minded. She doesn't always vote with the party, as you all know. We've talked about this on our network. She's tried. She is true, versus someone who continuously, week after week, says there isn't anything else. And sure enough, there's another rabbit hole we find ourselves debating about. I don't think you can trust Graham Platner, and I think most of the voters of Maine will find that out over the next couple of weeks and months.
All right. Shelley, what do you think about this guy?
Oh, well, first, let me say, Bernie, thank you. I grabbed the wrong end of the stick, so that was my fault, but I corrected it. So my flag slid down, and I grabbed the wrong end of the stick. So he told me my flag was upside down. But that's so. What I think about Graham Platner, Bernie, $10. Thank you. Shelley, is that plunge another method of lipo? By the way, your flag is upside down. Thank you, Bernie. I got it. Thank you for that, my friend. Look, Graham Platner, the fact that, number one, that Maine is, he's even on the ballot to this degree, running against, that kind of like, something's not right about that. Because I get it. Maine is a little more moderate, which is why Susan Collins has won so many times. She knows her people. She knows her state. So I get that. Number one. Number two, Graham Platner is being roughshod, I guess, I'm going to say roughshod by the Democratic Party. For whatever reason, I agree with Sher Michael. I think there's more to come. This is just the teaser. This is just like one of those slush fund kind of things that we talk about. The Democratic Party, they know what's coming down the pike, so they're trying to get him off the radar right then and there. And as far as I understand it, from what I've read, what I've listened to, his wife was the one who gave the information to a former campaign manager, PR person. So she talked about this to this person. For whatever reason, the person, spilled his mouth like a tabloid. But nevertheless, there's more to come. That's what I think.
Do you know what
he sent messages to these women, allegedly, including crude references like calling his penis mein Führer and blitzkrieg that ass, end quote. And she flagged it to the campaign last August during opposition research. But what is going on is this Platner guy, he leads Janet Mills, who dropped out 76-10 in the June 9th Democratic primary. Okay. He edges Collins as of right now, as far as general election polls, 51-42. All right. He's also endorsed by Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Ruben Gallego, and the unions. Okay. So they got a problem. They shouldn't have got to put this guy on the back this guy. They backed the wrong horse.
Do you know the reason why they picked him is because Democrats have a man problem, especially a white man problem. So what they were looking for is what they thought they had in Tim Walz, the all-American guy, a guy who has a hoodie on and maybe some work boots, who wears a beard. They are desperate to make a connection with white men. Unfortunately, they have very bad taste in men. Incredibly poor taste in men, because nothing about this man and his philandering ways, his hateful rhetoric, his Nazi tattoo says all American, especially when you call your penis the Blitzkrieg.
Right.
No, sir. No, sir. So all of this to say, they've not learned a damn thing from that Kamala loss. They've not learned one thing. And they certainly have got to stop asking the women who run their party how to engage men. Or better yet, doing it.
We have a note. So actually, he called his penis Mein Führer.
Mein Führer.
Right.
Mein Führer.
He said what he said was he would blitzkrieg that ass. So we're thinking he's doing that with his penis, but it's the Mein Führer is going to blitzkrieg that ass. So yeah.
I like thank you, production, for the note. I stand corrected. Mein Führer.
Yeah. It's sick. It's sick. This guy is sick. He's trash. And Maine, we hope and pray that you all have the mind not to vote for this guy. Keep Janet in there. All right. So so he's going to automatically win the primary. Then is that right?
Because she dropped out. I think didn't she drop out?
Yeah, she
dropped out.
Yeah, so this
is a 2-horse race. This is what this is going to be. But I'm going to tell you what's very interesting. People used to do this with Steny Hoyer. And they would get ahead in the polls, and people are like, oh no, Steny's got a challenger. Susan Collins is like Steny Hoyer in that the party doesn't start until she comes home. Now, keep in mind, she's still in session. She has to come to DC. She has to vote. She has to be present. But when she's there, you saw over the last week, her numbers rise astronomically, because while they're away, he has carte blanche to do what he needs to do, to campaign. He's on the road, and she's here in DC. But when she gets back home, though, this is where you see Susan Collins. And again, you know, she's not my favorite Republican, but Maine likes her, you know, and if this is what the constituents want, this is what they'll have. I just feel sorry for all of the people in Maine who are believing the hype that the Democrats are putting out. I do think cooler heads will prevail. And I also think there's a lot more to come, out of that campaign.
Well, we're going to be covering it, folks. We will cover it. We want it all out, get it out in the open. And we will keep you informed as to this, how dirty this trashy guy gets.